The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Brought to you this week by Maynard's of Westbrook, your home for great value, selection, and service. Stop in and check out our great weekly specials. Located at 627 First Avenue, it's Maynard's of Westbrook. I'm joined right now by Westbrook Walnut Grove senior Parker Freeburg, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, Parker.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the Edgerton game, and for you guys this season, it's kind of been an interesting year. Your role has really expanded this season, and coming into the season, I think people knew that you guys have Andrew who can shoot from the outside. You got Nathan who could shoot. Ethan has had a good year, but you've kind of quietly developed into a pretty powerful presence inside. Tell me about the evolution of your game, and you look back at a couple of years ago. The last couple of years, you guys have been so guard oriented. What's it like this year, knowing that you're in more of a featured role?
It's a lot different from the past couple of years. I stand in there the past couple of years when we had Anthony and Tyson and Kyle. They would just stand out there and I cleared the lane for them so they could score. Now it's just kind of like, all right, now I'm just kind of waiting around for my turn, and I finally got it, so I'm excited for it, and I'm happy. Coaches are putting in me in a great spot, and the teammates are helping put me wherever I can be to get us the win. So. And
against Edgerton in that game, Edgerton's got a couple of big guys, and from what I could tell from the stats, you guys made a concerted effort to get the ball inside and get those big guys in foul trouble.
So that's what our game plan was going in. It was try to get them out so then we can clear up the lane for that too. And just with that big, them being so big, it's hard to get around them.
The conference as a whole this year is a little bit different. They're coming up. You've been on varsity for a couple of years. You've had to deal with some pretty solid big guys in this conference. This year, there aren't as many big presences in the lane. How has that opened things up for you?
It's just being 6'6", about 300 pounds, and being the big guy this year, and having like Trevor Peterson and Big Poppy from HLO is what we used to call him. I don't remember his name for sure, but it's a lot different because you're trying to stop them, and I was just trying to look around, and now they're trying to stop you, so it all comes around at the end.
One thing that I've noticed about your game, and I noticed this even when you were younger, was your footwork. Tell me about how important good footwork is for a big guy.
If you don't have footwork, then you're pretty much just a big guy that stands there. At least that's what my dad used to tell me all the time, because we used to work on my footwork since I first started trying to play basketball. So that's the key thing I try to work on just about every day at practice. And if you don't have footwork, you're pretty much the guy that stands there and makes a mess. So.
Mm-hmm. And that footwork is important because it's help you really increase your repertoire of offensive moves. You also have pretty good outside touch. You haven't had to show that very much this season.
I plan to stick to what I'm good at. So.
And the other thing that has really evolved for you this year is you're averaging a double-double, which means that you're getting a lot of rebounds. Tell me about just good rebounding position.
Rebounding is one of the things you just gotta want to do it, and you try to find the holes, and you just go up there and get it. You're playing like you're the biggest guy out there, and you just go get it because you just think every board's yours. So.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about just the different dynamic for the team this season. Like you mentioned, you guys the last couple of years had a couple of really good senior groups. And this year, again, a lot of seniors on your team, but there's some pretty talented youngsters coming up. And I imagine that in practice, that's got to be a big help for you because you've got another big guy that you can push around a little bit in practice.
Yeah, he's still a little raw, Colton is. He's getting better. He's started being a lot better. I've tried to show him a couple things here and there and whenever we can. So the practice as a whole is, I didn't know, when we first started the year, I thought this isn't going to be the greatest. But once I realized, wow, we've got a lot of guys here that can do a lot of different things.
And, I know Coach Jenigas likes to play a more up-tempo style, and everything in your practices tends to be really fast-paced. There's a lot of stuff coming at you really fast. How has that been for you? And I imagine that that's also made you better as a player because you are able to get up and down the floor. For a guy your size, you got to get up and down the floor in an offense like this.
Well, every day at practice we start out trying to get as many, we call it 72 and 2. We got to make 72 layups in 2 minutes as fast as we can going up and down the floor. So I think that's a big thing that happens. So we do a lot of, I don't want to say we do a lot of conditioning, but a lot of our drills are just a lot of getting up and down the floor, so that helps a lot.
Looking ahead, you guys have MCC tomorrow night. You have Hills Beaver Creek on Saturday. But I know that everybody on your team is looking forward to Tuesday. You go up to Lamberton, you got Red Rock Central, and Red Rock Central is another team that has a pretty solid big guy. I imagine that matching up with Holland is going to be a challenge for you.
We've been playing for a long time, probably since 3rd grade, and we've getting to know each other. We've get some laughs here and there. He's a good kid. I'm really happy that he's still out playing because a lot of the other people that we play, he's not. So he's a good player. Really surprising how well he can shoot the ball.
Yeah, and really it's going to be a different challenge for you because he's not really a prototypical center. He's a guy that can stretch the defense a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest things to do when you're trying to guard him.
But things as far as for your team this season, right now you're still right in the middle of the conference title race, and I imagine that every conference game is going to be a battle, and trying to get back to the top of the standings is goal number one.
That is the goal. We've been trying that since day one. Most memorable. Well, I wouldn't say this is a real game or anything, but we were in a shoot-around 4 game, and one of my best friends, Jake Cleveland, was trying to touch the rim. His hands got caught and kind of landed in the locker room, and everyone was just funny. You had to be there. I'm a big country. I like to listen to country, so I like all the Jason Aldeans, the Luke Bryans, and the Blake Sheltons out there. Probably Southwest Christian. If you go down their place, there's a great atmosphere there. It's always seemed to be a big game. Kind. I don't really talk so much, probably quiet and careful. I like to fish. I like to work on our farm, on my truck, and anything in that kind of area.
And of course, you're a senior this year. What's the future hold?
Right now, I'm planning to go to Mankato State for a business degree.
All right. Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a great week. Best of luck the rest of the way, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Brought to you this week by Maynard's of Westbrook, your home for great value, selection, and service. Stop in and check out our great weekly specials. Located at 627 First Avenue, it's Maynard's of Westbrook.